What a beautiful day. The skybox is on, the birds are muted, and we are gonna kill a rat. And what better way to do that than with the old RPG staple of killing rats in a basement? Well, rat and it's in a sewer, but that's basically the same thing. We're gonna kill Scurrius today.
Freddie!
But before we get started on that, we're gonna do the easy Ardoin diary because I am sick of running to Rimington every time I want to get to Ardoin. Most of these are super easy, but I do need to do Plague City and Biohazard. This is also gonna unlock the Ardoin teleport, so it's definitely worth it. The plague isn't real. And that's Plague City complete, and Biohazard 2. That's the easy diary done, and we got ourselves the cape. I decided to celebrate with some moss giants to get my magic and defense up. That's 37 magic and the Falador teleport, 30 defense and adamant armor unlocked. We're going to switch to pure magic experience for the rest of these runes. That's 40 magic and the house teleport, though I do not yet have a house. Oh, we got our first mossy key. I might look into this boss at some point. 41 magic and Wind Blast, that's going to be an upgrade to our damage, but we don't have enough runes to get to 42, so it's time to make some money. I was doing an easy clue which took me to Berthorpe. It looks very different to how I remember it from RuneScape 3. It's seen a little bit of an update to how it looks here. Definitely a lot quicker to get to, as you can just lodestone to it for free. I got Nature's Spirit done to progress towards unlocking fairy rings, and because getting to Canifis is a real pain in the ass without lodestones. And I will be coming here fairly often at the moment for rooftop agility related reasons. Speak of the devil, that's 40 agility. Time to do the spooky course. I got an adamant plate body from a medium clue scroll. This is definitely an upgrade and will probably be what I take with me into Scurrius. I thought it might be a good idea to try and farm medium clues, so I went to the guards at Falador. I went pretty dry. I got 2 clues in 400 kills. I did get up to 50 attack though, so that's the first of the stats that I want for Scurrius done, and hit total level 700 at the same time. Not very exciting, but it's progress. I discovered forestry worlds while I was getting my woodcutting up for Lost City. This is kind of great. I love the idea of worlds and events specifically for a skill that historically hasn't been very exciting to do. Hit 45 magic and the Camelot teleport in the Stronghold of Security. I think I was down here for a Slayer task, but I got the left skull half of the Skull Scepter, and that is a part of the Varrock Hard Diary. I think I shall get this completed, rather than let this sit in my bank for the next 6 months. Okay, so Catablepon accuracy is a problem. I think I've spent 100 mind runes and killed 2. Might need to come back later to get the final scepter piece. We'll see though, splashing is still experience. The air battle staff is gonna get me up to 66% accuracy. I realized I couldn't buy one, so I'm off to the Isle of Souls to farm Forgotten Souls for one, and hopefully this won't take too long. Actually, this is gonna be really expensive on runes, which is already a problem for me. I'm gonna go get some melee gear. I got the air battle staff, and we're going back to the stronghold. That was actually a decent spot to grind. Decent gold from elking the battle staffs, and a nice flow of melee experience. Okay, so looking at the DPS calculator, I had it set to the bash attack with the staff. Our accuracy just sucks here. It's gonna take like 3 minutes per kill. Melee is definitely not the way, as I have no way of dealing with the strength drain yet. So, if I buy a maple shortbow, it looks like the kills will be under a minute instead of closer to 3. Not amazing, but I shouldn't be down here for too long. Right, this is not faster. Did just hit 31 ranged, which gets me steel crossbows and bolts, and while I can't make those yet because I can't cut teak, I can just go to the Dwarven Mines and buy a teak stock. That's another 10% accuracy, and that's a lot right now. Also, the Dwarven Mines are right outside, and I've got my gold with me already. So let's go do that then. Then I picked some flax and strung some bowstrings, and boom, new crossbow. Except that's not how you make crossbow strings. Thankfully, I don't have any meat at all, so let's go kill a cow to celebrate that. And then I can cook the meat into sinew, make the crossbow string, and I need 46 fletching. Fine, then brute forcing it with a bow it is. Had to leave to craft some more arrows, but 30 kills and 5 ranged levels later, this absurd task I set myself is complete. That is the final scepter piece. Made the skull scepter and invoked it to get the hard task done. It may not seem useful now, but it will save me having to do it later, and I did wind up getting a decent amount of combat levels doing it. As I was running past Brimhaven on a medium clue step, I realized the Karamja house portal is right next to the gold mine. I think it's time to get onto the property ladder. Okay, never mind. That would need 40 construction, which I'm not going to grind right now, I can't afford to, but it's still a good plan for the future. Also, I need a jungle potion for the next step, so let's get that done right now. And I'm pretty sure I had to abandon this clue, but that's another quest done. Hit 48 magic and got the Kurand teleport. I got a Slayer task to defeat Shades, and just so happened to have the requirements already for Shades of Morton, so let's go get that done quickly. Hopefully. Had great timing and could just stand here and repair for the required sanctity. I can afford the Flame Tier Hammer, but I'm happy to save that 18k. And that is Shades of Morton completed. I also did the Slayer task while I was here. I've been thinking about the problem of overhead prayers. Specifically, getting my prayer high enough to be able to unlock them. My go-to grind has been Moss and Hill Giants, and the experience from Big Bones is fine, but it would take a long time to get to 43. Dragon Bones are obviously a solution, but I was taking a look at the ensouled heads I've been getting as drops, and that looks like it might work nicely. I'll need to get the Arceus spellbook, but it seems like all I need to do is talk to an NPC in Kurand for that, which I've already got access to. I don't really have a realistic way of farming soul runes for reanimation spells yet, but thankfully there is a merchant in Arceus that sells them. Not cheap, but I only need 1 per spell. I brought some ensouled heads up with me because I'm eager to test this out. Okay, yeah, this works fine. It's a little expensive, but this should get me most of the way there. That's 37 prayer and protect from magic unlocked. So the heads I had collected got me from 33 to just before 39. I think I have enough gold to fund the rest of this, so let's go kill some hill giants. I actually think I should only need about 2 inventories worth of heads. This will also get me a good way towards the baseline of 50 defense, which is the last of the melee stats that I want to get up to for Scurious. I started at 150 hill giant kills. Hit Prayer 40 and Protect from range while doing the giants, just from burying the bones. That's 50 defense, and currently sitting at 518 kills and 18 heads. I'm gonna go reanimate these and see how close to 43 that gets me. It actually got me all the way to 43. I wasn't expecting that. That's Protect from Melee, which is the last of the 3 overheads. Onwards then, to get the last few requirements out of the way. In fact, that reminds me, I can now equip the Armadillo cloak I got from a clue. That's the back slot taken care of already, and I went to the Barbarian Village to buy an adamant full helm just to get the head sorted out. I just had another look at the Fairy Ring requirement quests. I noticed that just doing Lost City got me access to Dragon Long Swords, and that seems like a very good thing to have. So I started Lost City and very quickly realized that I had no food. Back to Lumbridge. Only had to kill 2 zombies for the axe once I came back. Tree spirits safe spotted and 4 branches cut. Thank you, quest helper. And screw it, we're already here. Let's get Fairy Tale Part 1 done. The Jangaberries were easy enough. I just so happened to have enough thievery to steal from the fruit stalls in Hosidius. The potato cactus was okay. The Calphite lair is safe enough. I did get poisoned though, and we learned our lesson last time, so immediately teleported out, got an anti-poison, then returned for the potato cactus. I killed Tanglefoot, and that's Fairy Tale Part 1 completed. And now all I need to do is basically start Fairy Tale Part 2 to get fairy rings unlocked. So this should be super quick, mere seconds of time. And that's it. I was fishing some lobsters just outside of Catherby, and I thought I would take this opportunity to talk about how observant I am. Eyes like a freaking hawk. I tell you, nothing escapes my gaze. There is not a thing that has happened on this screen that I haven't noticed, and Oh, I got the pet. I didn't even notice. I thought it was some random event that was following me around. Yeah, no, that's the heron pet. That's a 1 in 116, 129 chance. Hilarious. After I stopped laughing about that, I hit 60 attack, and it's time to go buy the Dragon Longsword. I wound up with about 100,000 more than I thought that I would. And thankfully, I had acquired a single cut diamond somewhere along the way. I have literally no idea where. It probably came from a pinball random event, but that lets us buy the Dragon Longsword. And now to do literally anything other than use this sword, because I need to get my crafting and my herb lore up a little bit higher. Okay, fine. Just one goblin. Uh-huh. Oh, thank God. That was terrible. I'm sure this sword works. Those fairies didn't seem like the type to be running some kind of racket, right? I didn't just get swindled? Oh, that's right. I don't have any herb seeds. Guess I'm training strength then. So, I was working on my crafting level, and I actually took a look at the order things unlock in. In my head, silver comes before gold, and so I just assumed that gold jewelry was going to be worth more than silver jewelry in terms of experience. This is not the case, and silver tiaras are worth way more than basic gold jewelry like necklaces and bracelets. In fact, it looks like a big nerf probably happened somewhere along the way, because gold tiaras, which you unlock nearly 20 levels after silver tiaras, are worth nearly half as much. I'm sure this isn't news to anyone who actually plays the game, but it was definitely news to me. In the end, it only took about 1500 silver and a handful of hours. The gold return on silver tiaras is pretty poor, but that saves so much time. So this is now 50 crafting and my current best in slot amulet taken care of. Just herblore left to do. I know the Amulet of Power is better than the Amulet of Strength, but I'm not grinding out 70 crafting for Scurious, caution be damned. 55 magic. This is going to allow us to cast High Alchemy, which is going to be our main way of making money for quite some time. 50 agility and the Canifus course completed. I think there is some sense to stay here and grind for Marks of Grace, but I'm not worried about rushing, so we'll just move on to Falador. I was reading through the strategy guide for Scurious on the wiki to try and get a feel for the mechanics, and it seems like darts will be a good thing to bring. I can't make those yet, as they require the tourist trap to be completed first. So I guess I'm gonna go do that right quick. Whee! Yippee! Yay! Fun. Yeah, I put both slots of experience from this into thieving, in case you wanted to know, and that is tourist trap completed. I made myself some steel darts, and that is the last of the preparations done. I feel like this is as ready as I need to be. I've read up on the mechanics, and I'm feeling confident. Let's go kill a rat. So, the first phase he just attacks with melee, and occasionally makes rocks fall from the ceiling, which you'd think I'd be able to avoid. It's not exactly a complex mechanic. Moving on to the next phase, he now randomly selects between magic and ranged attacks, in addition to a rockfall mechanic and summoning rats. After a little while, he goes back to phase 1 and then returns to phase 2. This is the summon rat mechanic, and the reason we brought darts. They're the quickest way I have right now to kill the rats off. I got about halfway through, and then made a few mistakes in a row, panicked, and died. I was trying to teleport right before that happened and was just too slow. I'm absolutely going to keep trying until I get the kill though. I'm a little upset with myself that I didn't do better, but losing the hardcore status isn't really important. There was no way I was going to complete this game with it. Not on my first account. Second attempt, thought I was out of supplies and teleported out. Still had a dose of prayer and the boss was on 34 hit points. It was doable. I'm gonna need more darts. This is fun though. It's stressful because it's very different from other MMOs in terms of combat, but it's fun. I think the challenge here is going to be getting the kill before I run out of prayer pots. This fight is going through them quick. And to think I was starting to feel over-prepared. It occurs to me that using steel darts isn't necessary, as apparently any hit will kill the rats, but at least the experience from fletching them was nice. I restocked and brought some more prayer pots. Let's try again. I died on attempt 3. I keep getting overwhelmed when the rats spawn in the final phase, which I guess is their entire purpose, so good design. Died on attempt 4. I teleported out with Scurious in the 70s. I can get to the Enrage pretty comfortably now, but it starts getting out of control very, very quickly once the rats start spawning. I'm going to try ignoring them this run, and see if I can just push through, focusing on Scurious's mechanics. Driving everything with the mouse is proving far harder than expected. I thought I would be more used to this after having played RuneScape 3, but just being able to keybind your prayer switches, if nothing else, makes it far easier. At least the run back is fast. Attempt 6 did it. Ignoring the rats that spawned worked out-ish. I couldn't figure out how to leave and only TP'd out with 2 hit points left. Also, I didn't even see the kill as I was trying to make some room to heal, but we did it. The adamant play body was totally worth it. This is also my very first combat achievement point in the game. Got the kill on the next attempt. At least we've proved it wasn't a fluke. Rune Battle Axe on the second kill. That is an upgrade. Failed 2 attempts, but the third was a kill, and it's starting to feel smoother. Actually thinking about the perfect Scurrius achievement, I don't think it will be too hard. It just requires a lot of focus in the final phase, and you need to pray melee as soon as he's finished eating, sooner than you would think. Obviously, it would be easier with more damage, as the fight would be faster, fewer opportunities to fail, but doable, I think. Feeling comfortable here. 2 lobsters and enough prayer doses to keep protection up. Compared to kill number 1, it's a big move forward. And that's kill number 6. Got an upgrade on my helm and a clue scroll, which is a nice way to finish up for the day. I still have some fishing to do, some darts to fletch, and a bunch of potions to make. I'm feeling good about this though. Once I got the rest of the supplies sorted out, I decided to go and do that medium clue from Scurrius, and I got a cryo cloak. That's very Flash. I actually like how that looks. I was thinking about what to do so that I could consider this task to be completed. And I think that the perfect Scurrius achievement is probably going to be the best way to do that. There's no easier way to show that I've gotten my head around the mechanics and gotten a feel for the timing of the tick-based system that old school RuneScape uses. So I'm going to grind out Scurrius. Shouldn't take that many kills, I think, and we'll get that achievement. Anyway, just got the perfect Scurrius achievement. Probably incredibly trivial and minor, but I feel very proud of myself right now. I'm not going to show it, but the next kill will be kill number 10, and that will get Scurrius Champion finished, which is the 10 kill count achievement. I'll need at least 1 spine to drop before I can do the other 2 achievements in here, but we'll save that for next time. Bossing is much more intense than I was expecting. Compare this to early fights in RuneScape 3, and it's way better than the Giant Mole or King Black Dragon, which are really just stat checks. I did seriously think about restarting the account with the hardcore status intact, but looking at this fight realistically, I would need to be way better geared for it to be consistent. I probably could have started with a different boss, but we'll just stay as a regular Iron. I have to say, I'm really enjoying this. I know that a lot of the other early bosses are more stat-based than mechanics-based, which is just a product of when they were designed. But if the bosses continue to be this enjoyable, I think we're in for a good time. So with that, we come to the end of the episode. I want to say thank you very much for watching. Once again, I really do appreciate it. Next week, we'll be back with the tale of 6 brothers and their demise. But until then, take care, and I'll see you again soon.
My name is Freddie, and my cape goes whoosh when I run.